when they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Good evening, everyone. And if you're just tuning in, you are listening to 105.3 and 107.7 to UFO Paranormal Radio Network, otherwise known as United Public Radio Network, or we like to call it just UPRN. And this is The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. I am one of your hosts, and my amazing co-host is next to me. Once I get the housekeeping things out of the way, I will pass it over to him. My name is Lorilei Potvin. I am a spiritual medium, a crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and mentor, registered nurse, budding animal communicator, well-versed in the paranormal as well as near-death experiences. And if you like what you see and you want to hang around and see the rest of it, I lost my for a second there. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and tell all your friends and family, because there's something for everybody. There's 25 years plus with this network being on the air, and there's something for everyone. We have multiple shows streaming 7 days a week. And when we're not streaming, the archive server randomly picks amongst those 25 past years of shows and plays them. So we're always on air. So there's something for everybody. We're always getting new shows. I know we've got some new ones that have come onto the network. So like I said, there's something for everyone here. And don't forget, the network has its own TV channel. We are on Roku. And I also forgot to mention, I have a second show on the network. It is the Angel Rock on Monday nights that I do from 6 to 8 p.m. I will be streaming that show till the end of January on Roku, and we always stream The Thing at the Foot of the Bed on Roku. So if you want to find it to watch on there, you're going to go to the channel store and type in UFO space P as in paranormal, and you're looking for the drop-down list. We're about third or fourth down, and it's UFO space P, like paranormal, and United Public Radio, and you click on that, and that's how you watch us. There's many of the shows that are broadcasting on Roku, so check it out if you have access to Roku. It's pretty easy to find it. Also, well, we do have people on our show. We haven't got anybody in the chat yet. They probably are thinking, where are you guys? We're always a few minutes just behind. I always seem to have something technical going on, so we apologize. Ghosts in the Machine. We're going to tell you more about that tonight at my house. I got crazy stuff going on. Anyways, if you want to join in the conversation, all you have to do is head over to UFO Paranormal Radio and United Public Radio Network. You can just look up UFO Paranormal. That usually shows it up. It's on Facebook and YouTube. You can go on the channel. There's Howie. Hey, Howie, welcome. And you can see and watch it, and then you can put your comments. And also, I don't want to forget to tell you, we have a group for this show now too called The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. So you want to join that. That's where we put all our links when we show stuff from the show. You guys can ask questions, show ideas. You can post videos, and we post any videos and links that we talk about on the show in the group as well. I think so you want to head there, David's channel. You want to go to the Spirit Experience, either in his group on Facebook or on YouTube to watch. You can watch at my YouTube channel, The Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. We're streaming on Canada's Most Haunted, and I mainly put that out there for people who listen, because the audience around the world is 80% audio. So if you want to join the conversation, we'd love to have you. Both of my shows, this one and the one that David and I do, are very audience participative. Okay, I think I remembered everything. Dave, over to you.
Did you tell them who you were?
I did. I want to say hi to Hanley Little. We got Julie Jean Bassett. Thank you. Hi, Nicole Thomas Ryan.
Well, hi, everybody. My name is David Hanzel. I'm a spiritual medium channel. I am pretty well versed in the paranormal and the metaphysical, as well as Lorilei. If you are watching from any of our Facebook groups, if you look right above this video that you're watching on right now, you will see a link. If you click on that link and give StreamYard permission, it'll just say yes or no. You will see your name. If you prefer to be anonymous, it's okay. Just say hi, and we're good with that as well.
But we'll highlight you in the bottom left-hand corner if you're watching, if you're a Facebook user, just so you know, like Nicole's on Facebook, we can see her. But that's good. I always let you add that part too.
and And to anybody watching us or listening to us, thanks to Lorilei who got it ready. We now have our Thing at the Foot of the Bed Facebook group. If you want to go over to that group, we'll be posting videos that we play here, as well as just some fun videos that Lorilei and I come across and chat about, along with
people
a little
are welcome to share, though, right, Dave? Like people are welcome to share too.
If you are in that group as well, you are more than welcome to share any scary stories, fun stories, paranormal stories, cryptids, anything you want to share in there. You can, as long as it has to do with, you know, the spooky and the paranormal.
Or ideas you want us to cover. You know what I forgot? I got to add quickly before because I'm in need to tell you this. Z Sun Dragon or Kevin sent me a bunch of spooky stories that we can share on shows. So I wanted to add that too.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. So anybody, if you got spooky stories or spooky videos, if you have videos of your home where you have paranormal activities, and if it's, and you give us permission, we will certainly talk about them on the show. We do need your permission though, before you do that. So please write that on your video. Other than that, I think we are all good, except for it's called The Thing at the Foot of the Bed with Lorilei Potvin and David Hanzel on Facebook. Just fill out that short little questionnaire and we'll put you in the group.
The reason why we do the questionnaire, just so you know, and we talked about this, Dave and I, we wanted to provide a safe space for you to feel that you could ask any questions or make comments, or we wanted to have a discussion because we really mulled it over. Should we make it public? Should we make it private? And we decided we're going to provide a safe space for people to feel comfortable. So that's why we're asking you just to answer the questions. They're very easy, but that way we know you're real and it's not like it's a bot or something trying to get into the group.
And absolutely. So if you want to be in that group and you don't want your friends and family to know because they're maybe not into the spooky stuff, they won't know because it is a private group. So you are good to go on that respect.
You got a few peeps here, Dave. It says, hello, David. It's little Jesse, Ricardo. Hello, y'all. Good afternoon. We got Leah Passmore. I highlighted your comment. Welcome, everybody. We're glad to see you. And like I said, if you like what you're seeing, please share. The more the merrier. We'd love to have lots of people in the discussion. So I don't know, Dave, do you want to start out with my spooky story? For what's going on?
I was going to say, let's start out because I was thinking we have a couple things. Lorilei, which she's going to tell you about in a minute, has some spooky stuff happening at her house. I haven't had any spooky at my house lately, but it's all over at Lorilei's house. I think they go back and forth. I think maybe they fly or, you know, something like that. Let's go hit up Dave. Let's go hit up Lorilei. Who knows?
I'll say.
But yeah, we're going to talk about that because houses are spooky. And the fact that too, I'm also on a house hunt right now. So when I go look at houses, it's really funny. If you were Dave or Lorilei, if you were to look at houses, that's the first thing you do when you walk in there. You're like, what energy's in here? Do I feel anything weird? I haven't come across anything yet, but Lorilei has at her house. So let's hear about it. So what happened?
I'm hoping to find me here. Good. I want to send it to me. Hopefully I sent it to the right spot because I don't want to highlight I sent the video to you. So what happened was, guys, 2 nights ago, I got up in the morning and my partner Del said to me, were you messing around with the security cameras? And I go, no, why would I? And he goes, because I got 63 notifications overnight and I just looked and the security camera's been moved. I go, well, what security camera? He goes, the one in the back. The one in the back never does anything. Now, we did pick up a bit of paranormal activity. We believe about, well, it was before Christmas. I think I sent it to Howie. I sent it to David. I sent it to our friend and fellow host on the network, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn. My mouth's not working tonight. Don't forget to check out her show tomorrow, Spirit Switchboard, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's awesome. And we do stuff with her from time to time too. She's an amazing medium, paranormal investigator. And I think there was one other person. There was something weird caught on the video. Anyways, the cameras never move. Like there's nothing going on ever in the backyard. Well, we look and the camera, which is normally facing, and it just faces right to the top of the fence, just in case somebody tried to come in the backyard or anything. Well, when we looked at the camera had been turned all the way to the right, looking way down, like past, there's a bit of a field behind my house to other houses. I guess with the lights or any movement, it kept alarming because that's the only time it'll alarm if it picks up within the zone, if there's movement or anything like that. Hi, Linda Nelson. And anyways, so what happened was we're looking at this and saying, Del, I didn't move it. I never touched the back one. I said, if I move the front one, because the front one's good, someone's banging on your door or you see something, it's got an intercom, you can move it. But I know how to place it back where it should be. Anyways, I said, well, let's look at the video when it moved. And it happened at 3:12 a.m. And what happened? The camera is staring straight ahead. I'm going to show the video, folks. Just give me a sec here as I tell the story. So there's smoke moving. You can see it looks really spooky. It's not. It's quite cold here finally. And the furnace was on. So that's what the smoke is. So it's nothing spooky showing up. But all of a sudden, and you don't see anything, it might look like a bit of a glitch. And Dave, me and my D names, I can't, my mouth is not working tonight. You said it almost sounded like it was underwater or scuba sound. The camera goes like really hard turn as far as it can go. So as Del and I were talking about this, we realized, first of all, it was me that came up with this. I said, well, I asked him, I said, those cameras you can't move manually, can you? He said, no, you need the app. I said, well, think about it, Del. When you move the cameras, it comes up on the app with a directional arrow. It's in a circle, up, down, left, right. And when you move it, you have to click, 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 click. There was none of that. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm telling you guys. It just goes like this, like violently turns. You can't see anything on the video. You do hear a little noise before it happens. I'm not sure what the noise is. Then, was it this morning? Did I tell you about that? I think it was yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon. Dal comes downstairs and he says, do you know that bath pillow that's upstairs? I'm thinking, what is he talking about? He goes, you know, the one you bought me. Because it was a couple of years ago, I bought him a bath pillow to put in the bath. He was sick. He had a cold and he wanted to have a bath. And I thought it'll be more comfortable. It was in our shower caddy, top shelf. Never, ever, ever has moved. Nothing. He said he was in the bathroom. He's sitting there and he said it came flying out of the shower caddy and whacked him in the leg. Oh, and I know he's not gonna lie. I've been with him for almost 15 years. He doesn't lie to me about stuff like that. So I don't know what the heck is going on. Hi, Jackie Lane. Hi, Sandra Sharp.
Yeah, I had noticed for anybody, I haven't watched a lot of people's ring videos or stuff like that. And I think it's just in itself, it's creepy. Just the noises that you hear that are normal.
The noise is creepy. I will give you that. That was creepy because it does pick up audio. Hi, Roger Garza says, so hola.
Did it not sound? It sounded to me just like those old timey diving.
Yeah, with the big bubbles.
Yeah, with the big ball. Yeah.
Well, let's play it. We'll play it. You guys see what you think. I'm going to play it a couple times. It's about a minute long. I was going to cut it and I thought, no, I'm going to play the whole thing. And I had to screen record it because that's another thing. Anytime I've picked up something spooky, it will not record because I had Del looking at it. He was the one that set it up. And I go, why does the record button not work? He goes, the record button does work. So he tried to record it too. It wouldn't let us record it. Now, we had problems with our cameras in our previous home. All of the recording functions off of our cameras in the previous home stopped working. There was nothing wrong with the security cameras. We had the technicians out many times to look at it. There was nothing for them to fix. It would just not record. So we had a big TV screen in our bedroom in the basement in the old house, and we could watch all the cameras on there. That was the only way. So I don't know what this is. I don't know why it's there. I did some grounding with the house. I blasted the house with light and energy and all kinds of stuff, and I will continue to do so, but it was weird. So hang on while I get this playing here. One sec. Present.
While you're setting that up, anybody who's new that's in the chat or anything, feel free to say hi to each other, and you can have a conversation in here. We're listening to you. Everybody in our chat is friends pretty much at this point. And they'll know each other. So feel free to make fun of each other. Do whatever the heck you want.
No, making fun of each other. Hey, what am I going to make
fun
this
of each other? Come on, I want to see funny things.
Okay, give me a sec. I gotta put this back to where at the beginning. So it's about a minute and 9 seconds long. So make sure I add it to the screen. Okay, here it is. So many buttons to push. So it looks sideways. I did edit the original recording, by the way, to be orientated properly, and I shared it in the thing at the foot of the bed. And when I looked at it the first time, it had gone back to the way it had been originally recorded. I had to go back in and re-edit it again. So weird. Okay, hang on. We'll play it here. Let's go. Okay. So it's going to turn for you guys. You're not going to see anything, and all of a sudden you're going to see the camera whip, but you're going to hear a noise. I don't know what that is.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, it's Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. Keep watching, guys, because you're going to see it. Yeah, like it's not a lot to see, but I played the whole video. I hope it's still playing there. Is it? Yeah, it's still counting. Good. All of a sudden, and you cannot do this with the app, and you cannot do this to the camera manually. So I'm sorry it's so long, but I played it in its entirety because I wanted you guys to see what it did. So there was that noise. I should mark when this happens, and I'll edit it to a shorter version. Anytime now. Might even be a little bit longer. This still there. Wait, no. Why did it orientate to the side there? That is so weird, Dave. Did it start replaying again? Hang on.
Yeah. Now it doesn't want us to see it.
Let me see. That is weird.
Oh, no, it's not there anymore.
Are you kidding me? Well, I'm going to make sure there. No, it's not, guys. Give me a minute because I'm going to upload this. That is weird. So did you see it flip, Dave?
It flipped on
Did you see it flip when you first?
Yeah.
No. The one that I have, and I will get it there, guys. The one that I have, I did not do that to this video, by the way. I don't know what happened. Let me see. I'll make sure I've got it because I will show it to you guys because this is ridiculous. Because it flips. So let me go to the video because I took the one I sent you. Watch, probably the one I posted in the group is doing the same thing. Well,
the one you sent me, I can really hear the noises right now. I'm looking at it now.
Okay. Let me see where it is. I put it in my evidence file. So give me a sec, guys. I will find it. We will find it. Is it the one you should? No, this is a new one, Howie. This happened 2 days ago. Hi, Jonathan. That video, I have no idea where that went because what it does is the camera jerks and flips. Something weird is going on with this. Something doesn't want us to see this. I'm sorry, but it already, like I told you, the original video, I edited so it would be orientated the right way so it could be seen. And when I went to post it in our group, it had gone back to the old way again. And so I had to reorientate it. That's all I did. I cut nothing off the video. I will find it for you guys. Here's my evidence file. Go down to
now in the video you gave me, it's not doing it.
Okay, hang on.
That is so odd.
Let me see if it flips. Nope, it didn't. Holy cow. Hang on. We will find it for you guys. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead and chat and I'll find it for you here.
Yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't do it at all now. It doesn't flip at all.
Did you see it? Originally, did it flip for you, Dave?
I think so. It did be earlier because I said that's weird. And then now
because around that noise, that's when it did that. So give me a second.
Look, you might have been, it might be off. You might be sending. It's really weird, you guys. All these camera-y things going on. Why she's looking for that, though? Why she's looking for that? I'm such a scaredy cat sometimes for no reason. It's like I go in a haunted house and it's like, oh, nothing. When I look at new places I've been in, whenever I see a room whenever I see different rooms, I always imagine someone looking around the corner and going, nope, I'm not going to get that house because someone's going to look around the corner in that room. It's crazy. Hi, Julie. Hi, Faye. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Howie. I saw you. I'm just saying hi to everybody now. Ricardo. I almost called you Rico. Ricardo. and he's got
You
Faye.
guys are not going to believe this. It disappeared off the security cameras too.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Because mine's not turning anymore. The one you sent me isn't working anymore either.
Wow. This is insane. I am covered in goosebumps, like covered. Like I'm literally, I'll have to ask Del if he saved it when we end the show, but this is insane. Like, wow, how could that happen? Like that, Jonathan, no, we're not even saying that word. Not meant to be. No, there's something paranormal going on at my house is what I'm saying. Holy cow.
There's something in the cameras, you guys. There's something in the cameras.
Because I know what time this happened. It was 3:12 a.m. and it doesn't even go back that far for notifications. Oh, wait. Maybe it does. I found it. I knew it wasn't crazy. Okay, give me a sec, guys.
No, it's not. It's scary because you found it. Dang it. No kidding. Oh. So over here, if you guys notice, I posted them. Did you guys see the one funny Bigfoot one I just put in the group? I thought that was hilarious. I was laughing so hard. I was watching videos on a bunch of scary videos on YouTube. Well, so apparently scary or allegedly scary. The one video I showed you where the guys, if you look at it real close, it looks like there's something in the woods that's behind his car. That was really creepy. If you guys are in the group, look at that one. It doesn't say it's a monster or anything. It's just really creepy. A ghost. Fine spirit. That's right. That's right, Roger. Maybe it's not meant to be. Although I think it is because she found it. She's just kind of playing with it at this point.
Just give me a minute. I'm going to do this because I'm not letting this defeat me because I am telling you this thing was on here. So we'll just record it while we're talking because, and then how did the bath pillow come flying? Like, I'm not kidding. That bath with the shower caddy, you have to reach up. So it's about 7 or 8 feet up. It was on the top shelf. It came flying off and hit Del in the leg.
I did have, I'm going to take it back. Last night, and I guess because I don't know. Last night, I was sitting in this chair here, and my cats are across from me. All 4 of my cats lay on my bed when I turn on my, what is that called? Electric blanket, and they all just lay on there. And we were all sitting here, and I heard a thump in my bathroom. And I went to, I thought, what was that? I thought, oh, one of the cats are stuck in the bathroom. So I opened my bathroom door and there's no cats in there. And I look, all 4 of them on my bed. That's kind of creepy, but it wasn't paranormal. But it was creepy when stuff like that happens. I never know what that stuff is. Yes, ghost kitty throwing things off the shelf. If you know what, when I moved to the house that's next door to this, long story, I had to move over to here. But when I moved there, I brought 2 cats with me from my old house. They were very old cats, and I was the only one who fed them. And I did not want to leave them to, pass away with, they couldn't go hunt for food or nothing. So I brought them over by me, and they stayed with me for about 2 weeks before they both passed away, about 3 days apart. And I buried them in the backyard of the house next door because I didn't know what to do. They were good cats, Nicole. You remember that? It was Mr. Jordan and Whisper were the 2 kitties I brought with me. And then the other one.
I remember those cats.
Yeah. And they both passed away here. They're buried in the back. And I thought sometimes maybe when I hear stuff around here, maybe it's them. Or it could be my cat too. My old cat, Charlie. He's always... When I sit on my bed at night, I always feel like there's animal walking on my bed. And I don't know why.
When my son's cat died in our old house, Mocha, what ended up happening was the night she passed, we heard her meow, and for months after, you'd see her lay on the bed, like the bed plop down. Okay, I have this video now before it disappears, guys. Let's play it.
Yeah, let's play it here.
because I cut it off after it flipped so that you guys don't have to watch too long. Okay, give me a sec here. Okay, where are you? Okay, we're going to start at the beginning. Still, yeah, it's still 1:13. I knew this was longer. Okay, hang on. Let's get it up here. You will see this because I was driving. Now, where did that go? Because I did not edit that video, you guys. This is what happens. You're going to see it. That's not it. You're going to be looking towards the left of the screen. Now, the smoke you're seeing, that's just from the furnace. I have to say that.
Yeah.
You
It'd be
hear
cool
a
if
few
it was a
noises.
ghost.
I'm not going to lie. It's all ghost. It's smoke from the furnace.
I know. I think it'd be cool
Okay,
if it was a
so
ghost.
all of a sudden, okay, it kind of looks spooky. There's the noise again. I don't know what that noise is because it wasn't really windy out.
Angel just really looked over here. Maybe we scared him. We were loud. What you doing, Angel?
Sorry,
Buns?
Angel. Okay, it's coming. I promise. It's a minute and whatever. How long is a minute 13? And I cut it off because there wasn't anything really to see.
That's okay. How much you want to bet though while we're waiting? How much you want to bet if you posted on TikTok and said it's a ghost, you get like 30 billion people watching it because in TikTok they pretty much fall for anything.
Okay, why don't I try it?
You should just for an experiment.
Not lying. That is what happened, people. And you cannot turn that camera like that. Like when you hit, oh, that's okay. It's a comment. Hang on, I'll read that in a sec. You cannot turn the camera. You can't turn it manually. You need the app. Okay. And when you turn it, it goes just a few degrees, and then it goes a few degrees, then it goes a few degrees. You cannot do that. There's no way to do that with your security camera. The security cameras we have.
I was gonna say, aren't they kind of bolted? You can't, or it's
no.
mechanized.
They'll put them in, but they're not made to move manually because if someone's messing with your cameras outside, it's a security camera. Yeah. You don't want them to be able to move your cameras. So the only way you can move it is if you're logged into the app with your own personal security you set up, and you move it. Well, here I'll show you. I can find it right now. I'll show you. You don't believe me? I know you do, but I'll show you what I mean. Oh, it's not on this phone. It's on this one. Hang on.
It's on one of her many 50,000 phones that she has.
Well, I do, so that I am prepared. If something happens, I will be back on here in 2 seconds. I have 3 logins into StreamYard, so I know how to show you. Well, I'll show you the backyard. Hang on. I'll show you the backyard right now. Okay. Let me see if I can I edit it? I know there's a way. Well, you're not going to let me do this, are you, little monkey? Okay, there. That's how.
That's a good question, Faye. Faye asked, did Dell have to fix the camera back to the correct position afterwards?
Yes, we did. Okay, so see in the left-hand bottom corner, that little directional arrow?
Yeah, that's how you move it.
Okay, so if I move the camera, it'll just move a little tick, 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 tick. Like you can't just hold it and it'll whip over. It won't do that. It can't do that. So yes, of course we had to fix it back to where it belonged. It had no purpose being, plus it kept alarming because there's a space between the townhouses, the wind is going through, like anything. It's like a small walkway. So that's why the alarm, I guess, kept going off, because it goes off with any movement, any flashes of light, any noise, anything. So where we have it set off, the only way it should go off is if somebody is entering our backyard. That should not be there. Mm-hmm. So yes, so whatever that was, that is so weird, David, that I sent you that video and that was cut out of there.
Let's go down the rabbit hole. What would you think that might be? I mean, honestly, you guys, we're just going to speculate right now.
Honestly, if I feel into it, I feel like it's something that's kind of popped in, doesn't have a ton of power, would probably like to hang out for a while, but it's not going to. Because I'm not going to let it hang out here. I'm sorry, you need to go haunt somebody else, little buddy.
Yeah. If I had anything to say about it, and I'm just speculating as well, guys, but I know with me, when I do certain things, okay, if I have a day where I do tons of readings all day, I will have something in my house that night. I don't know why, it's just there. Nothing scary, nothing anything like that. But I know from when I do my readings, maybe something's hanging around. And I wonder if maybe because you've been doing a lot of stuff with some other people lately, maybe something just cut not these are
No,
not
I
attacks.
do get drop-ins, and whether you believe this or not, okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
gonna
A
tell you
drop-in.
When something that's a little darker or knows even that you are able to hear, feel, see, or communicate,
Yeah, they're gonna
they
show
will
up.
drop in. Sometimes they're just
Absolutely. Yeah.
sometimes they're just investigating the energy. And once those things, and I have dealt with negative things, they don't forget you. I'm sorry, but they don't. Do I think this is negative? No, I wouldn't call it. I call it mischievous, something that wants some attention, but I don't want it here. So away it needs to go.
See you later. But yeah, that's what I would think. If anything, I would think it's not a possession, it's not a demon, it's not anything. I think you said
No, I'm not calling it that. God, no.
I mean, this is for other people listening. I agree with you on the one thing. Most likely, I think, because if you guys, anybody who is in our chat who is of the spiritual persuasion, meaning that you do a lot of stuff within the spiritual, there are drop-ins, and that's a good thing to call them. And a drop-in is not a terrible thing. If you get a drop-in, you pretty much go, see ya. No, I don't want to hear, or I can't handle it, or I'm gonna ignore you and focus on something else so you go away.
Do you know what Spirit showed me? Okay, Spirit showed me this. If this, see if this resonates, is that over on the other side, everything's energy, right? So if they were looking and they're not way up miles ahead, we've talked about this before, there you could practically reach out and touch almost. That's how close it is. But the way they see us from the other side, everybody looks like little pinpricks of light, if you will. But those of us, and all of us are capable of using these gifts, but those of us that are using them and can communicate with the other side. They showed me almost, and I don't watch horror movies, but from old time scary movies, or driving down a dark highway, super dark, all of a sudden this bright flashing vacancy sign shows up with a motel on the side. That's kind of what we look like to them. So they know who is using their gifts and who isn't, right? So when you get a drop in, for example, that is needing some help or sees that bright bonfire type of light, right? They're going to pop in and say, hey, what's this? Like, what's going on?
I kind of see it like that too. Cause I had asked, you know, after my NDE and all that stuff, how do spirits actually see us? Cause everybody, they can see us exactly the way we're seeing someone now, but they know, like Lorilei said, they know if we are somebody who is open to contact, because it feels like there's a light above your head, or just like a light there, or like you said, a big vacancy sign or something that says,
well, hey, I just use that analogy as a human being analogy that Spirit knew I could understand, or if we shared it with other people, that it would make sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think.
So Julie, you want to read that? I'm going to answer that first. Could it be a deceased loved one messing with the electronics to let you know they are there? Sometimes, but what I always say to people, first of all, when I'm doing readings and stuff, and someone will say something strange was going on in their house, and if they ask me, was it so-and-so? More than likely it probably was, unless it's something creepy, because I think people intuitively know. They just want some confirmation. But what I also say to people is this something they would have done in life? Because our loved ones, or anybody that's coming from a loving space, is not going to purposely try and scare you. Now, if they were a jokester in life and they like to play practical jokes or whatever, then yes, it could be.
I have people on my social platforms. One of the questions a lot of people ask me is, hey, I had a dream about my loved one and this, that, and the other thing, and it was bad, and I woke up crying. It was that them visiting me. And I said, no. That was you trying to deal with something. You're just putting them in that place, because most, like Lorilei said, if you really think about it, if you really theoretically think about it, when we leave here, we don't take this body with us. You're just taking your consciousness with you, because everybody else, for some reason, they think your body goes with your clothes and you go dead. It's like, no, it's your consciousness. It's your consciousness that actually creates the images of what we see. Because actually what we are all seeing now is coming from our consciousness. So we're all looking at that. So we never know really what's happening for this, that, and the other thing. I believe with yours, though, I don't believe it's a bad thing. I believe though.
I don't either.
I believe it's probably unwelcomed at this point.
I think it's mischievous and it wants some attention, and something's going on though for that. You guys, I'm glad actually I showed you guys the first video because I did not edit that. I did not cut that off. I did nothing with it except what I just did to show you guys. I screen recorded it and I just turned it so when you guys wouldn't have to turn your heads this way to watch it. That is it. I did not edit it. I did not cut it short. I did nothing. And I don't know how to explain it. So I just want to answer this question quickly. SoCal Broad 25. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I don't see comments from anyone but Ricardo. And the reason why is the comments are coming from 10 different places. So depending on what platform you're on, SoCal Broad, you're getting the comments from Ricardo, who is on the same platform as you. We get to see all the comments except Instagram, which I should probably check because they can't show Instagram comments here. We've got Shannon Casey, I see you, and we've got Carrie Lynn Shellhorn on Instagram. I see them.
I'm curious, where is SoCal? Where are you watching us from right now?
Good question, Dave.
Yeah.
That was my next question.
I beat you to it.
We've got do you want to read this story? We have a little bit of a story from my song. Do you want me to read?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't think we've seen you before. Instagram, we see you. I will try and remember to pop over there and say hi because Carrie Lynn was popping in over there and Shannon Casey was popping in over there.
So my song, so I'm going to tell your story and we're just going to read it. I won't comment on it because it's not my business, but it says, I lived in an apartment for 13 years. During the last 2 years I was there, I walked in my bedroom one night. On the edge of my bed, there lay on his belly this spirit in flesh form. He was wearing a baseball cap, a plaid blue shirt, brown shorts, long white socks, white sneakers, well dressed. I couldn't see his face because he was facing the wall opposite from where I stood. I ran so fast after a minute of shock. I have never seen such a thing. To this day, I always wondered who it was and did he want to convey a message to me? I would say if he wanted to convey a message to you, he probably would have.
I got a different feeling with that because, and I'm sure you've run into this too, Dave, is that people sometimes have seen spirit in full corporeal, full body form. And we've seen even from some Nuke's top 5 videos, we've shown where somebody has been watching somebody have a conversation on a security camera and they're talking to someone. I've seen many incidences of that and they look just as real as you and me. And they can't be seen on camera. And then you find out afterwards the person had been deceased. I seen this on Nuke's top 5 one time with a car place. The person that was in a tragic car accident the night before it had passed. The mechanic down in the yard was having a conversation with him, and the gentleman was asking how much it was going to cost to fix the car and everything else. Yet we were watching from the manager's position where he was watching the security cameras, and you're watching this guy moving his hands, talking, and finally you hear him say, so-and-so, who are you talking to? And he said, I'm talking to Mr. Carlos. He goes, who? Well, Mr. Carlos, he was in that car accident last night, and he had to call him upstairs and tell him he had passed. And then I know that there's been a couple of incidences where I've heard people say that there's been, like, say, an elderly person in a nursing home that they've run into that's already passed, and they look like they're in full body form. They weren't there to scare you or anything. So if he had a message, I do have to agree with Dave. I think he would have given you the message. Maybe they knew that
he might have just been there too. I mean, I'm going to say that things can happen like that, and the reason is because I saw full body apparitions that were real standing in front of me. So it does happen. I don't know why. Oh, little Jess and Ricardo, know what it is? You guys are probably watching from the Spirit Experience on YouTube. If you're watching it where it is, or you're on it's probably on mine because they're from TikTok, I think.
Yeah, because most people are probably on UFO Paranormal Radio, little Jessie, and that's why you're only seeing some of the comments. So I can check for you. If you give me 1 minute, I'll tell you where all the bulk of the comments are. So it's okay that you're there, but that's why you're not seeing, and it helps Dave's channel out, just like if people watching my channel. But that's probably why you're not seeing Hang on, I'll see if everybody's on UFO.
Yeah, they're on mine. That's why anybody who's on mine, you won't be able to see like from my group or anything like that. I don't know why. I mean, I wish you would just let
everybody's on UFO paranormal radio pretty well. So little Jessie or SoCal Broad, yeah, that's why. So if you want to talk to other people, most of the peeps are over on UFO paranormal radio on YouTube. If you look that up, you'll be able to find everybody there if that's what you want.
Yeah, and there you go. Then you guys will be friends, meet all kinds of people. And then everybody, you can also watch on my YouTube channel, Lori's YouTube channel. Lorilei's I called you Lori on accident. Lorilei's.
That's okay. That's okay.
Lorilei's going to come through that thing and just whap me.
No, I
you
won't.
think you're scared of ghosts? Look at my fist. Call me something.
No, I would never do that. No. So anyways, that's an interesting story that you shared. Now, I would need more information, my son, before, and I know David would too, before we would just jump into a conclusion. I'm just sharing with you some of the things I've seen and heard about, but it does not mean it couldn't have happened. But I'd be interested to know if I have a feeling this person might have showed up in your dream. Like you said, you ran so fast after a moment of shock, right? So regardless of who was there, like, I don't know, I that's what I feel. I don't feel it was necessarily malevolent anyways, but I don't know, maybe it was a relative. You know what, you guys, I found the creepiest, I posted it in the thing at the foot of the bed, and I haven't even had a chance to tell you about this, Dave. Let me make sure I got, I know what it's called. It's called Lighthouse Horror, I think. And I don't like creepy, gory, blood and guts types of stories, but I'm always listening to stuff. Now, these people that are writing these stories are pretty talented. Oh, he said he did dream of the person. There you go. I figured. I have a feeling they had a message for you. That's what I kept feeling. Like this person chose a different way because they knew they freaked you out. So they met you in a dream. Anyways, back to this. I'm always looking for something to listen to. And sometimes some things, like people have been sending me some pretty heavy stuff, not bad heavy stuff, but real metaphysical and a lot of mathematics stuff. And it's like, I just want something I can turn my mind off. So these people write stories. I don't believe they're true, but I don't know. They write in and like they go anywhere from 40 minutes to up to, I listened to one for 3.5 hours. It almost sounded like a real life X-Files type of thing. No, they didn't say it was real. And it was like with a zombie virus and how they overcame it. And like, it was so cool. I could not stop listening to the story. So if you guys want some spooky stuff, I've heard some on zombies, on vampires, on ghosts, on really strange, weird metaphysical experiences. And it's a different story. I think he posts every couple days, and the author never used to show himself in the earlier stuff, but he does in the new ones. And he speaks like it's him in the story, but he's actually the narrator. So you got to check it out if you're looking for something to listen to turn your mind off and listen to something spooky. It's pretty cool.
All right, stuff like that. I watched a whole hell of a, I watched so many Bigfoot videos. Wow. And yeah, do you know what though? I love Bigfoot. I really do. I love cryptids. And the weird thing is, I'm not changing the subject, but just to add into it, I've noticed that a lot of the Bigfoot videos, most of the ones, they all tried to be scary stories.
Okay, so I wanted to discuss this with you. I was going to discuss it privately. So I'm just going to address my song. You said I'd like to explain more in detail, step by step, how it all happened. You have Messenger. If you hang around to the end of the show, we always tell you how to get a hold of us. It's pretty easy, though. You just look up our names on social media, or you can join our group, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. Anyways.
Yeah, actually, my song, join The Thing at the Foot of the Bed on Facebook, and you can actually write your story in there. And there's a lot of folks in there who do what we do. There's a lot of paranormal investigators. There's a lot of people in the paranormal, spiritual, and they could read that. And
I kept hearing that though, that you must have had a dream about this because I didn't feel anything negative. Okay, so about Bigfoot. So hear me out. I know where you're coming from, that people always want to go to a fear-based perspective when it comes to something we don't know or understand necessarily. But if we live in this planet, this 3D existence, and everything else, we have a duality. We have positive, we have negative, we have, hot, we have cold. And we've even talked about this, about extraterrestrials. right? That we know, like, some extraterrestrial races get a bad rap. They do. But then we hear of other people like yourself, even, who have had a positive experience, say, with something notoriously getting a bad rap, like reptilians, right? So
Yeah.
what's to say that some of the Bigfoot don't have that there are some that maybe have evolved, have moved off into a different sect? Because hear me out on this, because I know Dell, when he used to do a show, and we did quite a bit of research on this, and believe me, he is as skeptical as you, if not more, David, and you know this. And his thing was, you'd hear people's stories of being terrorized by Bigfoot species, and him and I both did not agree with it. Because, first of all, if you know this is going to happen every night, why don't you put up security cameras to document your evidence, like whatever, what have you? But if you go to YouTube channel called How to Hunt, I'm going to warn you, I think I can say this word on air, he's a dick. I'm sorry, he is. He's Canadian. Yeah. Sorry, Steve, but you are. But people do write in about their Bigfoot experiences. He doesn't refer to them as Bigfoot anymore. He calls them Sabe. And people share their stories. Some people have had some negative experiences. Now, can we say with absolute truth that no, there's no negative? But to me, right, I think that there could be possibly people having
there is, but hear me out on this theory. Okay. I know what you're saying. I'll be the first one to say you can't just put positive or negative something, because everything is neutral until we observe it and see what it is.
The story you posted, I'm sorry, I don't care what's acceptable in their world. When they were ripping off human limbs, that's not acceptable.
Yeah. But now what happens is I'm going by something bigger than just there might be idiots and there might be not. We know that this is a world. We're never really always in the same dimension, but yet we are. We always think that we're always shifting to an entire new world, and we're not. We're only shifting perspectives through the timelines. So it's just one perspective through the timelines. Now, you guys all heard of the shift, okay? This 2024 is the shift. It is happening now, which means the Earth is splitting off into this polarization or that polarization. Once we get to one of those, there's not going to be too much duality too much. So the more
I'm going to mark this time and space right now. We're going to revisit this next year on this show and see if we've shifted.
Exactly. We actually already have shifted because we're already different. When you can tell, you can see the shift. It's happened since 2012. I've monitored it all the way up. It's constantly shifting. 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world, but it wasn't. It was for one world, actually. So if you guys thought, so the world never ended in 2012, well, one of them did. You're just not there. So you got lucky. You didn't get lucky. You just did your thing, and that's where it was supposed to go. So in the shift, what's happening, what I was thinking what's happening, how I've been trying to put it together is there's always going to be duality in the physical world, obviously. But right now, the dualities are very polarized. So they're very hyped up. So we had to bring all the crap in order to recognize it so we can release it. We can't shift to the world where it's supposed to go until we release the crap. So by people constantly.
Did I freeze or did you?
Constantly saying stuff like every alien is bad. Yeah. So I'm not talking about, I know some are bad. There are, I am damn sure that there are some bad aliens.
You came back. That's what I was saying. Did you freeze or did I?
Oh, okay. So if you look at it this way, I agree with Lorilei, and I've got the same one. There is good and bad in everything. Human beings, cryptids, everything else, I am sure. Although what happens is when an entire, because we're kind of one big consciousness here. So if the bulk of the consciousness thinks everything is bad or evil, guess where everyone goes? To the bad or the evil. That's where we get tugged off to. If we think everything's a lot better and not so bad, those people get tugged over too. So that's how the world splits. So let me finish real quick. By saying that most things, like most Bigfoots are negative, or most aliens are negative, or most this are negative, that's the world you're going to get stuck in. Now, the weird thing is about how technology goes is fear is more popular than positivity. Let's face it. If you're not reading a self-help book, you want to hear about negative stuff because it's fun. I agree. It's fun to be scared. I love roller coasters. I love being in a controlled situation where I think I might die. So, but I know that I'm not. But I kind of think by all these videos are doing it. It's like, even if you, all the people who even channel aliens or all the people who talk about aliens and know about them, they're all saying the same thing. Stop telling everybody that every alien is bad and there's some killer alien out there because they've won. We're the lowest evolved
experience that they have designed for themselves in this.
No, it doesn't come down to that's where that one goes out the door. There's a whole other theory around there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
That's okay. You can have the experience yourself, but you can't promote the experience to others to ensure that they have this.
Attracts like energy on this planet. So people that are going to want to be drawn to that are going to see it. Then there's going to be people like yourself and myself too. Not everything is evil, that are going to see it and say, no, that's not true. It doesn't resonate. And I think that if we have free will and we're able to look at that, right? You're going to make the decision.
You're not understanding. It's a lot longer than that, but I do understand what you mean. I agree.
People that practice Satanism, for example, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. Doesn't mean that if they promote it everywhere, the world's all going to migrate to it, right? I think you're going to go where you're meant to be. And what you perceive becomes what you believe, and it becomes your reality. So yes, if they believe it, people see something, I think you see what you're meant to see. I think you run into what you're meant to do. Same thing. I think that what resonates with you is what you'll be drawn to. I think just telling people even that if you think negatively, you're going to go to the negative place. And if you think positively, you're going to go to the positive place. Right? I think we have free will.
Because you attract that. If you think that, you attract that. So all the people who think that every alien is bad,
I don't think you or I could change our minds about it. I don't think we could.
No, we can't. We're just going to do what we do. I mean, I think some stuff is like, I think certain religious sects to me are evil, but other people think they're good. You know,
so and the worms tonight.
Yeah, but we can't. But it's fun, isn't it? But my big thing is this.
I know
that people are going to have an opinion on something, but I hate when they base their opinion off a 2-minute video on YouTube. That's why I don't like.
I think I'm trying to give the human race more credence with the fact that I think if you're going to believe it's negative, you're going to believe it's negative. If you're going to believe it's positive, you're going to believe it's positive. Even with the paranormal. People say it doesn't exist. I don't believe in it. It doesn't exist. Therefore, I don't have that experience until, and we've run into people like this that have had an experience. And I always say I never went looking for the paranormal. It found me. I never focused on it. I never looked for it. But somewhere along the line, they must have agreed to have had the experience that I had, right? So the way I hear what you're saying, they're being portrayed in the wrong light. And I hear you. And it's wrong because that's not what the whole thing is about.
Yeah, it's not.
I hear what you're saying. And I hear exactly.
It's kind of like, too, look at me. When I was a little boy, I grew up with paranormal haunted things.
Me too.
Did it scare me as a child? Absolutely. There were times I was very scared. In fact, I hated it so much that I spent like almost 30-something years of my life going, I want nothing to do with that crap. It's bad. But it wasn't until something changed my mind and said, oops, maybe
this goes into what Nicole said. And I love what you're saying. And Nicole said it perfectly. We can't change a person's mind, but a person can change their own mind.
Well, no, that's obvious. That's the obvious. No, we can't change someone's mind. But what we can do is stop presenting them with negative things that are only on us. It's kind of like if I ran around here and said, you know what? Everything that is a pudgy or whatever they're called is terrible thing.
A
Yeah,
puckwudgie?
Puckwudgie. What if I said, Puckwudgies, every Puckwudgie is evil, and if you see them, you have to step on them and kill them.
But
I
that's
mean,
your experience and that's your belief.
but
Everybody
it's
else
wrong.
doesn't
It's a wrong belief. It's a wrong belief because there are religions who hate people because of who they are, based on what they were told in a book. So I'm saying the same thing is starting to repeat on this planet. People are starting to fear things that they watch 2 minutes of on a video, and that's not fair. It's kind of like if someone would listen to 2 minutes of our show and said, "Oh, I don't like them. They suck. They're not funny at all," which
I
is
would
not
be
true.
okay
Yeah,
with that, David, because the people that are meant to hear us and the people that are meant to watch our show are going to watch. And I know you're not talking about the show. And it's this,
yeah.
I hear where you're coming from and I see what you're saying from both sides. But where I'm saying this is people that are meant to see it will see it. People that are meant to believe it will believe it. There will be people that will be gullible and just go along with the crowd. Yes, there will be. But I like to give human being more credence with the fact that
Thank you. That's it, Nicole, right there. What she
okay,
just said.
I
People
okay.
are more fearful and not open-minded, and they're not open-minded
But
because
we're not gonna fix that. We're not gonna fix that. That's something that has to come from within.
and it well, no, it comes from people like us saying, quit putting the fake videos up to scare people. That's what I'm talking about.
That will believe that though, and it doesn't matter if we tell them that we think it's fake, right? It doesn't matter. I hear what you're saying, and
I know we're going. Okay, I know we're going to agree to disagree, and that's it. But there's a part of spirituality that this is why, like in spirituality, I'm not that airy fairy guy. I'm like, nope. I still believe in science, and I still believe in all that stuff. Not everything we see. Like even though my reality says there's ghosts around my house, that doesn't really mean anything. I tell people, they think I'm crazy and that's it. But I would never tell anybody there's ghosts in my house. It's scary. Watch your house all the time. Look at this video I put up a fake thing because I'm invoking fear. I think you might come to this planet too, because you got to remember we forget everything. Now, like your house, like we know that, like we know bad stuff has happened, like with you and Dell.
Or like what my song said, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, beliefs, right? I hear what you're saying, though. I really do.
I get so frustrated with the paranormal world. It's probably why I stopped doing so many investigations, because I got sick of people just always saying everything's a demon, everything is scary, everything's a killer, everything is this, and not everything is. I think that's what I want to get out to people more.
And you're allowed to, and it's okay to do that. But there's going to be, like I said, and then we'll leave it at this because we could go.
It is a never-ending debate. We're having fun, you guys. We're not yelling at each other.
David and I have to be like this on air and off air, and that's why we're good friends, because we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, this is one thing in our lives where we can agree to disagree because it's not hurting anybody. We just like, these are our opinions, and we love it.
No, but it's good to have.
We're like a view for scary people.
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, that it's not right to put that out there. And what I have said in the past, and I'm going to leave it here at this, if you're okay with that, is I have said that the bigger the platform, the more responsibility you have to either show both sides of the coin or show something neutral. Because when the more somebody has a bigger audience, the more influence they have, I feel you have a responsibility to stay in the midline if you can.
That's what I like about our shows. We are presenting two different ideas from two different people, and we're like cool with it. But there are shows out there that will concentrate on just one or the other.
But people find what they want to watch too. So that's why we have such a great crew here. So speaking of puckwudgies, you posted a video about it. What did you find about puckwudgies?
I think they're really cool. No, I do.
Really? I like because I heard that name.
I like the description of them. Is why I was really drawn to it, because they're supposed to have like little razors on the. Did you ever see the movie called? Oh my God, Lorilei, this is funny. It's a movie. It's called Feast.
No, it was a horror movie.
Okay, you guys, if you ever seen Feast, if you like monster movies with a whole lot of gratuitous gore. And funny, and it's funny as well. that's the show to go through. But also, the Ghoulies. Do you remember the Ghoulies?
I've seen the Ghoulies. Okay, everybody wants to know what puckwudgies are, so we got to tell them.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
little people, not human little people.
Yeah.
Cryptid, I guess. I don't know. Fae.
Yeah.
Fae. One thing I was going to add quickly.
I think they would be.
Okay, why I brought up the topic of that lighthouse horror, because that's what they were classifying all of the what we would call cryptid and all this stuff. And it was a government facility, like a prison for the bad ones, and like they had like a tree spirit in there, and it was so cool. It was the one that was kind of like X-Files. Anyways, they were talking about that basically how they classify everything, and they have a 1 to level 5 based on their power, not on public opinion, but they called it all fae, which I thought was interesting, right? Basically magical beings.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree. Puckwudgies, I would probably put up there with elementals, which are faes.
Because Varla Ventura, who I've talked about before, she wrote a book on fairies and pukas, and they all fall under fae, just like what you said, Dave, under like elemental magical beings. And if you look in the group, David posted a really good video on it. Dave, do you remember what it was called?
Puckwudgies. I think it says Puckwudgies.
Was the video called Puckwudgies?
Oh no, I'll look for it. I think I still got it. Out here, you guys. Here's a. I looked up a description because I'm not a Hi, Marshall Martin. I am not an expert on puckwudgies. In fact, you can whatever I say about puckwudgies, it's only going to be by something I read because I don't have anything to do with that, and we don't talk about stuff we don't know about. But puckwudgie is a creature from Native American folklore, specifically from the Wampanoag people. Does that sound familiar? Wampanoag people of southern New England. Puckwudgies are small, human-like beings around 2 to 3 feet tall and are said to have magical abilities. That's like us, but taller. They are they are often described as mischievous and sometimes even dangerous, and are known to play tricks on humans. In some stories, they are helpful towards humans, while in others, they are portrayed as malevolent. The legend of the puckwudgie has become part of the folklore and mythology of the New England area, and it continues to be a subject of interest and fascination for many people. I am fascinated by them. Yeah, see, I like the way the puckwudgies look.
This is the one. Okay, that's the one in the middle with the porcupine back. That's the one that was in your video.
Yeah, I have. Yes. You know why I came very fascinated when I saw that picture? Do you remember what was the story, Lorilei?
I can click on it.
Where the wild things are.
Yes, that's what it looked like. Okay, we'll make them bigger. So this is what they were talking about, that it kind of, and I love what you just said, my song too. You said, let's not beat ourselves up over actions of others whom we don't agree with. Agreed. We've moved on. We're in puckwudgies. Don't worry.
On from that.
If you come to our show for a while, Dave and I sometimes have these discussions, and it's good because we get your feedback too.
Yeah,
and we don't ever disagree.
Yeah, and we like to let people know they hear both sides of the story. You should always hear both sides.
We get along wonderfully on air, off air. We would have had this discussion off air even if we were.
Trust me, we would. We'll go back and forth. Blah, 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 and then we'll.
And sometimes we change our minds, like what the other person has to say.
We do. Yeah. So I changed my mind about a lot of stuff that I used to not believe in that I believe in now.
Me too. Absolutely. 100%. If you asked me if I believe the same things even 5 years ago, I would tell you no way.
Oh, me too. Yep, me too. Same thing.
More experiences, more talking to different
gnomes. People. Yeah, we love gnomes. Oh, don't get Lorilei and I started on gnomes.
You have not been here long enough because David and I have a gnome problem.
Yeah, we do. We both have.
Well, no, I can't say. Maybe it was one of my gnomes coming to life. I don't know. But I've never had a bad gnome experience. I love fairies. I put up a fairy garden. I love nature spirits and elementals like David does too. But you know what? I think, like, I've heard some negative things about the fae or fairies?
I have, yes, there are. Yeah, there are. I haven't experienced it, but I've heard enough people tell me, and I do know this though, Lorilei, is somebody was describing some of the elementals. They're very close to physical, so they can be in the physical. They're interdimensional. How I believe Bigfoot is interdimensional. They can come in and
I
out.
believe Bigfoot is interdimensional. Yeah.
They have their emotions are different than us, kind of how they see things. So I suppose, remember how we talked about how one person might see something as evil, another person that says, no, in my country, that's perfectly normal. Yeah. So I think that's where the fae come in. I think I can't say for sure, 100% sure, because I have never got on my hands and knees and shook hands with one, but I've had experiences with the energy of it. So I will say, look at my house. Remember my light bulb fell when I told you about my light bulb that came out of the
wasn't it the hand that fell when we were
talking?
And
the hand that fell when we were talking about no. Yeah, in the hand that fell. So that wasn't a mean thing they did, but it was a mischievous thing they did, and it was to bring something to my attention.
I think with the fae, and I could be wrong, but my experiences with fairies, and no, I never sat down and shook a hand with one either. I think that if you love nature and you love animals and you do your best to care for your space that you're in. I'll tell you a little story this summer. We've lived here 4 years, actually, at the end of this month in this new house. And we've done a few experiments planting gardens and stuff. So this last summer, my partner Del planted the garden. He goes, I don't understand why the garden's not growing well. And I swear to God to you, I just heard from Spirit, you didn't put the crystals out. So I said, we didn't put the crystals out. And my partner respects what I do, but he is a real scientist and real skeptic, even after everything we were in our previous home. So he thought, hey, can't hurt. Actually, they're up there. I have the crystals. I put a bunch of crystals, a bunch that I felt provided a lot of love, a lot of positive energy. I swear to God to you guys, within 2 weeks, the garden was just growing gangbusters.
Oh yeah.
I make not a shrine to them, but I always honor them. I make a beautiful, and people stop, like walking by, to stop to come and look at the garden because of the way we arrange it and we make an homage, if you will, to the fairies. Like, it's always with beautiful pieces and bright colors, and we put flowers in, and we really take a lot of care and put positive energy into it. Again, am I wrong about that? I could be completely wrong, but what I understand and I believe about the fae, I try to honor them that way.
Yeah. Whether you're wrong or not, I'm on your side, so I'll be wrong with you. Because I also believe the same exact thing. If you honor that energy, it's going to honor you back. Even
I think they're earth angels, earth archangels.
I would say that
they're the guardians.
I believe they could fall under that label, because don't they say too that the fae are actually the guardians of the animals, so they're like the spirit guides of the animals.
And Archangel Ariel, I believe, works with the angel.
I work with Ariel all the time. Yeah, I love fairy gardens myself. I had Nicole had said she lost her wedding band for over a year, and I know the fae took it and then returned it. I had told Lorilei about an earring too. I don't know if
that's right.
Yeah, Nicole, I had I got these. I have 4 piercings, and I had 2 that were in the front here, and I loved them so much, and one fell out of my ear in my bed. I could not find it anywhere. It was gone. And I put the other one on a shelf next to me. And probably about a year or so later, I had just walked into I don't know what I was doing or what I was talking about, so I don't know if it was fae or not, but I walked into my bathroom and I was getting ready, and I look in the floor on the carpet, and there's the earring. And
you sent me pictures. I couldn't believe it.
And I thought, well, you know what? Maybe one of the cats dragged my earring off my shelf and put it in there, because my other earring was gone. And I went to go put that earring on the floor back on the shelf, and there was my other earring. I have the set back again. Actually, they're actually in my ear.
Yes, we
It's
couldn't
closer
believe
in
it.
the
Okay,
ear.
so I wanted to read this. So Marshall Martin, welcome Marshall. He says,
Hi,
I
Michael.
believe that gardens growing gangbusters is a sign of a presence. Believed it for some time now. Now
I
again,
agree.
here we get back into where do you put your what you perceive becomes what you believe, and it becomes your reality. Now I see this all the time, and it came from spirit. I didn't make it up. So if you believe that, and I think that we are powerful manifestors. People do not understand how powerful we are as human beings, including our thoughts, our words, and our emotions. So I will neither tell you you were right or you were wrong, but I think that what you believe is what you will get as an experience, because you are a powerful manifester, as are all of us, and creators, including like attracts like energy. So, and you didn't say whether you thought it was positive or negative. So if you believe it's a negative presence, you could get something negative. You believe it's a positive presence, you get something positive. I truly believe that. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah. I agree that. I agree. And you know what? If my garden is growing, I don't care if it's evil or good. Just let my
Yeah.
garden grow. I'm good with it.
No, I'm not
You be
making
as
a
evil as
deal
you
with
want.
anybody to make the garden grow
No.
well. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I did with the crystals. Like I said, I chose them with love and positive energy and just put them out there. And yeah. Well, sometimes people have activity. I noticed your comments here, little Jessie, or my song, you said about your aunt experiencing things. You said she experienced something checking an onion, of all things, and a remote control once. And then you said her most recent experience is seeing whitish smoke in her home appear and quickly disappear. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's something negative, nor would David. I could already say it, and I know he's going to say right after I finish yapping here, is that's not enough information to just jump to. You don't know why. Like, you got to understand, I'm going to give you this perspective. And it does happen. I don't believe anybody's trapped here. There are people that may believe they're trapped, may not want to cross up there. That's a whole different show. But my point is, if you found yourself, unfortunately, in that situation, you didn't know that you were no longer earthside. And sometimes I've run into spirits like that. And you couldn't understand why nobody could hear you and see you. And strangers were living in your home, for example. People moved into your home, which you thought was still your home. What would you do to get your message across? Doesn't
Yeah.
mean
Well,
it's evil.
yeah, and I can't say much about it because of the fact that I don't remember an experience I've had as a ghost, so I can't comment on it. But from just what, like, Lorilei and I, we both are avid readers and studiers, and we study everybody's theories, not just one person. We study theories from all kinds of people, and then we draw our own conclusion. So I agree totally with Lorilei on that.
I don't feel anything negative really from that. To me,
Yeah.
somebody's trying to get some attention, but
Yeah, I don't feel anything negative anyway.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. Even the negative stuff in my life turned out to be quite helpful. So
I
I mean,
agree.
we talked about that. Maybe not. Maybe it's true that really has. I studied. I've been studying more hermetics and all that lately, and I think that's why I'm getting so because studying hermetics is just crazy. Because there's so much that goes into it, and that's like that's all the universal laws. And it's just all crazy. I guess it's just really how we're going to see it. I mean, it really
Okay,
is.
for example, to build on that, Dave. Okay, and
Yeah.
Dave and I have had this conversation on air and off air. I always say what I went through in my previous home, that experience with my family, I wouldn't wish on a blade of grass. Not that I'm any better than a blade of grass, but do I look back in anger or any hatred or anything? No, because
No.
I truly know I would not be doing what I'm doing now today
Yeah, we
had
talked
I
about
not
that.
had that experience. So it was a
Exactly.
negative experience, but I'm loving what I'm doing today. So how could I be hateful or angry or anything towards it?
I know it's like when people ask me, David, do you ever regret and wish that you didn't have like the pneumonia and go through all you
Mhm.
went through for the near death? And I'm like, oh gosh, no. I am so glad it happened because I know like the same thing. I would not be in the place I am now
Yeah.
if that stuff would not have happened,
Mhm.
good or bad. Good
Yes.
or bad.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I always say it's so easy to look at something from the outside looking in, but when we have the mirror held up to our own face, that is when it's most difficult, right? Because
I
we all see
wonder.
it. No, but you got a friend that's going through a
Yeah.
difficult situation and you can see the solution so easily, but they can't, especially when the heart is involved, for example. And I mean emotion wise, right? But that's where sometimes if we can do it is to take a deep breath, if we can step outside of the situation and look at it from both
I suppose
directions. Mm-hmm.
because you look at it too. I was just thinking too. Sometimes I think when we do, maybe I'll change. Maybe I've changed my mind on something just now because I was sitting here chatting with these guys. And I asked a question in my head, and they gave me an answer, and I was like, "Oh, that makes freaking sense." I hate you guys. Okay, so no, not you guys. I'm talking about my spirit.
I know who you were talking to.
So I'm going there. I'm like, why are these people, why is some of this crappy showing up? And I get so angry about it. And they said, maybe some of those people, maybe they need to deep down dive and totally get involved in that in order to come out to the end that they're supposed to go into it, which does make sense.
Yes.
So sometimes if somebody thinks something is evil, I guess I will say, if you think it's evil, go down that rabbit hole, learn all you can about it. Once you learn about it, maybe, just maybe, you'll go, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not as evil as I thought.
Maybe they were meant to have the experience in this life to look at everything from a negative perspective.
Yeah. Well, because that's what we're supposed to do. We come in here with no memory to remember who we are and see things from this perspective. Because right now, David and Lorilei are seeing life through the eyes of David and Lorilei, not through the eyes of who we really are in the big picture, but through these characters. But I still get mad when people make everything evil.
And you are allowed to, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's how you feel and that's your perspective. And there's nothing wrong with that, just like anybody else, right? And we're all here to have an experience. And again, there are people that think about it. We live every single thing we possibly could before we move up anywhere up to ascended master. You have to go through every single experience. So there are going to be times you're going to come in and have a negative experience. Okay, so my song says you got to go. Before you go, I'm going to tell you one thing. You said you kind of stopped going over to your aunt's house. I think you said it was your aunt's house. How about next time you go and they start doing that? Why don't you just say, knock that off? And I mean that, firmly, like you tell your kids to knock it off. Not angry, firmly. You mean business, and tell them to stop it. See what happens.
Did a reading. You know what? I did a reading a while back, and I don't know if I told you about that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, this woman was told. She was getting readings from some other people, and they were just, they were just filling her head with the opposite of what I would tell somebody. But anyway, they came to me.
Hi, Selena. I'm saying hi on Instagram here. Sorry.
Hi, Selena. But they were talking about everything being so evil and everything. And they're like, what do I do? It's scaring me at night. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to assure you of one thing. Okay. It's not going to physically hurt you. And I said, emotionally, it's bothering you. So when you go to bed tonight, when you get that sound, instead of hiding and showing it fear, I said, sit up in your bed and say, hello. Try doing that. Just try sitting up and go, hello, I get you're here. What you want? Da, da, da. She said she did that. And when she had her next reading, she said it all stopped. And I said, maybe that's what happened. They just wanted you to acknowledge. I don't know.
But you have the right. Okay, this is your lifetime, whether it was somebody else's house or whatever, and you're sorry, maybe they haven't decided to cross over, for example. You have the right to tell something to stop, to leave. You don't belong here. You do.
Yeah, you have the same rights with dead people than you do with living people.
That's what I usually ask people. Would you put up with this crap from somebody that was standing in front of you doing this? No. What would you do? Besides, no, you're not going to call the police because there is no paranormal. I always used to can't dial 911 paranormal help. No, but you have that power to stand up and say, cut it out, knock it off. Yeah. And I mean that firmly. Yeah, and you're not saying it angry. You're not trying to piss anybody off. You're just letting them know they need business and they need to leave.
I will tell anybody who's listening to this channel, and I mean, you might think I'm crazy, and I am, but
agreed, Julie.
If I've got something around me that's bothering me or doing stuff, I've learned, and I've been told, well, this is from my guides. I've just learned to go confront it. And I'm like, okay. And they were absolutely right. Everything I confront, usually it gets better. Or I'm like Lorilei, I'll say, no, no, you can't be here because you're peeing me off, and I'm trying to get some sleep. I don't want you here right now.
I told you what I did with my house with the video I showed you at the beginning of the
Yeah.
already grounded, like done a real thorough grounding a couple times today, the house, the people in my house. And what I do is I just blast my house with light, like I'm talking imagine light, love, because I don't feel it's something negative. I feel it's just something kind of dropping by and doing whatever. But my point is, if it is something negative, like attracts like energy. But I will tell you, if it's something low vibrational or negative, I've been able to explain this to my son with severe autism. Sending it fear is food. So if you can't think and you're scared, think of somebody you love. And then imagine you're throwing the love at them. I'm serious. Your mind is that powerful. It's aversive. I'm telling you, I swear to you. And I love what Julie said. Julie Jean Bassett, she goes, you have dominion over the spirit world. You're absolutely right.
It's true. And you know what, though? The spirit world also has dominion over us,
True.
which is why I think I hear it so funny when people yell at ghosts. I'm like, they're not listening.
Yelling, if that's even, and I'm not being disrespectful, you yell at anybody, how far do you get when you yell at them, including your kids?
You don't. Oh, I'm okay. Well, the one thing I'm going to say, I'm just so I can preference this for everybody. Like Lorilei said, if I was in my own home and something was here bothering me, I would say, you need to go. You need to go away, blah, blah, blah. But if I am investigating a house, I am not going to walk in there, pump my chest out. Would you kill? Why are you here doing this, you scary demons? You know, that's where I think it's a little different. But you're absolutely correct. We do have dominion, and the word dominion, it's hard for me to put. I know what you mean by dominion. I wish I could find another word, but there isn't one.
You have the ability and the power and authority.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we do. You're absolutely correct. I'm a strong believer in that. If you don't want something, I always tell people, oh, I've got all these ghosts coming to see me and I want nothing to do with it. I'm like, well, then shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You say, nope, I don't want it. I don't want it unless you're like Dave and Lorilei and really have no choice in the matter at this point, because I'm not going to say that neither of us have a choice. If we both wanted to, we could quit doing spiritual stuff tomorrow. Well, kind of. It's still always going to be there because we already agreed to it.
No, but you could tone it down if you really wanted to, but it'll keep popping up. Rachel says, I felt no fear from what I experienced.
Oh, good.
That's awesome. Awesome.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because just because you don't, that's where fear comes from, right? It's the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You haven't experienced it before. It doesn't matter what it is in life. When we have fear about something, and don't get me wrong, there's no negative emotion. Fear is a healthy thing to have, especially it can save your butt in a lot of situations.
Oh, yeah, you need fear. Yeah.
They love fear to feed on. Negativity, arguments, whatever. And you know what? You have the right to do that. I didn't know all this in my previous home. I wouldn't want to go through it again, but I don't think I ever would, because I know a lot more now than I ever did.
Yeah. Oh, now if something came in your house and bothered you, you'd be like, get out. I will seance your butt right out that front door.
Plus, I have leather veins. I have the kitty that's sitting. These two always join me for our shows. They don't always come on air. We usually have Angel joining us, but these two, my dog and the cat, they always tell me something's in the house. If I need to worry about it, they tell me like right away. Yeah.
One of these days, you guys, if you guys want us to, we'll do a show on cats and ghosts, because I read some really cool stuff about cats, and that they're guardians of the spirit world, and they do other things.
And healers.
And healers.
Julie's probably going to type a bunch of stuff in there. I'm going to give Julie Jean Bassett I forgot to give Roger and Faye a shout out too. They've got shows on Facebook, Faye's Angels, Latino Psychic Vision, and The Smugs for You. Howie has the Rift Nation Network, the Orion Effect. You want to check them out too. And Julie Jean Bassett is an animal communicator. I personally had her work with one of my animals, and it helped tremendously. I've taken a communication course with her with it for animals, and she's an incredible shamanic practitioner. Nicole says, I love cats.
Nicole, you know what Nicole does? Nicole rescues cats here in North Carolina.
I did not know that.
Yes, she does.
Wow. Okay, so cats, Julie says, cats are our protectors on the spirit realm. And you know what you made me think of when you were talking about that? I don't know why I thought of this. I was home from school. I was about 8 years old. I had chicken pox, and my mother wasn't used to having me home. And my brother was 15 months younger. We got it at the same time. And he used to talk me into the stupidest things. Now, you know, I don't like horror movies when I tell you this. He made me watch this movie. I don't know what it was, but it was these cats, and they'd come. I don't know if they had well, obviously there's reincarnation, but they had reincarnated directly from Egypt, but they were haunted and super scary and spooky. I swear to God, I did not sleep for months. I was never afraid of cats, but whatever kind of cats they had in this, they made them evil, and they were out to kill people and take their spirits back to Egypt. Like, I'm 58. I remember this is 50 years ago.
No, it's Egyptian cat. Run.
It was so, well, imagine being 8 watching this, and I knew I couldn't ask my mom because she would have kicked our butts for watching horror movies. So I had to sit and ruminate with this every night, thinking, "Oh my God, is there going to be a cat coming to take my soul to Egypt?"
It's so funny too, because if you go back through history, cats were gods in Egypt. I mean,
I think I love all animals. And like Julie said, dogs are our protectors on the physical realm. I agree. Yes. And Jackie says she'd love a show on cats. Maybe we could do that next week. And Faye said Julie was on the show on Tuesday. She was fabulous. We learned so much about our pets, including Faye herself. Yes, she is awesome. I love Julie too. I love you all. But the thing is, that would be fun to do a show on cats.
We can expand it if we want. We can talk about animal totems and animal spirit guides.
I think we're going to go there one time, and then I've mentioned this to a few of you.
We forgot,
But David and I lots of times plan a whole show, and you guys want to go in a different direction, so we go wherever you guys want to go, because this show's for you guys.
So it's your fault. We're blaming you. Is what we're doing. We're blaming you, the audience. You, the audience, are the ones who make us go all over the place. But we love it. We love you.
I was thinking about you, Kevin. Z Sun Draggy says hi, y'all. I was thinking, I wonder if Kevin's going to pop in. He's probably just getting off work.
He said, "Oh, animal totems. I studied animal totems for a couple years ago for quite a while, and I kind of stopped because me and Lorilei are the same way. Our brains will go, we'll catch on to something. We'll study it, and then something else will come up, and we'll study it.
That is really true. Really true.
And that's what we do. We love it. I always say, the more you know, the better.
I got to pull this out before, because you guys are making me think of all kinds of things. Where did you go, you little monkey? I got to find it. You guys were talking about cats. I have an oracle. Oh, here it is right on top. I have a whole, here, I got to turn this off. I have a whole deck just on kitties for you guys.
Look at that. Oh, that's cool.
So we could do a show on cats, because David and I both love animals, all kinds of. We always said if we ever won the lottery big, and we both almost finished each other's sentences, we said we'd use most of it to open an animal sanctuary to rescue
animal sanctuary. Every no-kill shelter in America would be funded completely by me. I would be like, here you go, take it as many as you can. I would totally do that.
So Marshall said insects are a good topic. Okay, so that's something to look at, because when I took Julie's course especially, but I knew this already, is, everything has a purpose here, and everything is here for a reason. So insects aren't a bad thing. Insects are a good thing. Mind you, I have said,
a good thing.
Why has God made yellow jackets? Because I really don't like them, because they infested my house last summer.
I don't know about that, but I remember asking a long time ago, and I got, you guys, I have a guide who is very, very straightforward. I mean, he's the one who always tells me to ask a question. He's like, does it matter? I mean, that's his words. Does it matter? Mm-hmm. I asked one time, I was outside, and I said, I had these gnats. I got a gnat infestation in my
I've had those too.
Yeah. Oh. And I said, and I was sitting here one time, and I was doing a journey, and I was journeying, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go in. I need to know what the hell gnats are for. I mean, really, literally give me something really good or mystical or, whatever. And my guide comes back. He goes, food source. Like,
That's
oh,
what
deli.
I was told about the yellow jackets too. Food source.
Mm-hmm. But they're also, I guess there's like a hive, not all insects, but to a lot of insects, there's a hive mentality. So there's an oversoul for a large group of insects, I guess. And as one goes, it goes back and it comes back all the time.
So Julie Jean Bassett said they are here to give you a message. Once you get the message, they will leave, or you get a good exterminator. I'm sorry.
My message was you left a banana. And my other message was quit giving your cats wet cat food when a hot summer day, because that's what happened. I had to dump it. But yeah, there is message. I do believe that insects do give us messages like that. I will tell you, I always get a special thing when I go outside and I have a ladybug on my windshield.
I love ladybugs.
I am the first one to go out there and I will take him off my windshield and I will go put him on a plant, because I'm like, as much as you might want to go for a ride, I don't want you to get hurt. So I'll move. I can't kill it. I have a hard time killing even insects. I've
animal decks here. Sorry.
Whenever I have spiders in my house, I always lose my spiders unless they're venomous.
Okay, so that's an animal message deck. This is another one. There's another one I have by this Stephen Farmer too.
Oh, animal cards.
Yeah, so there's lots of messages from the animals. Julie is definitely right. And we have animal guides as well. I found out mine for animal communication, and he showed me what he looked like. And I never would have expected in a million years. And he is this giant stag, if you will, but he has almost like this ruff of fur going all down his chest and his neck. He even told me his name, Ronan. Cool. I wouldn't pick that as a name, Ronan. Oh, Julie says she has that deck. Nicole says she has that deck. I have a problem with gnomes and oracle decks and crystals.
I have a lot of oracle. You know what? I have a lot of oracle decks that I bought because I was attracted to them at the time that I still haven't used. Yeah. I bought some really difficult oracle decks. Did you ever see those oracle decks? It's like, you don't want to. I don't like to use the book in oracle decks. I like to just stay with them and play with them. But I will once in a while. But there's a couple that I got that I got them and I opened them up and I looked at them and I'm like, what? Yeah.
Sometimes you have to look. This is the other deck from Stephen Farmer. Sorry, I got to cover up the light.
What's that one?
That one is Spirit Guides. I think it says, if I'm reading it right.
By the way, anybody who's listening and not in their chat, if you have questions about different oracle decks or decks that Lorilei and I talk about, please feel free to write us and we'll tell you what they are in case you are used to them.
This is another one. I don't use this one. Like, this is one I haven't used a lot. Animal dreaming. I have lots of animal ones because I really do love animals like David does. Yeah. Got mermaids. There's one I'm looking for to show you guys. It's a past life deck, because speaking of a deck, like, it literally just shows you a picture and then a word, and that's it.
I know, I love those. Those are my favorite, but they're the hardest ones to figure out for a while.
Because you have to almost journey into a meditation to get the information.
Absolutely, exactly correct. That's how I look at it too. You got to kind of sit with each.
But they're not good for a quick one-question reading, is what they're good for. A personal reading or an email reading or something.
You guys, I will show you this, and I got
I'm looking for it. I know.
I showed you this one, the Forest Fae. If anybody can see this is a great.
Oh, that's a nice deck. I like that one.
I will tell anybody, if you got this Forest Fae, somebody said there's a beginner's deck. I don't know who's a beginner's deck, because like the Fae, it gives you it goes around the point. That's the butterfly deck.
Okay, so Nicole said she just heard a weird sound when you were putting up the last deck. Me or David, Nicole? I'm not sure who to. Kevin says he loves reading intuitively. Kevin, were your ears ringing? Because I was talking about you at the beginning of the show, because I had said you had sent us some stories to share over the next couple shows. Everybody loves reading intuitively. Kevin does. Julie. Oh, so at my house, I'll have to go back, Nicole, because we, believe it or not, you guys, this is the fastest 2 hours of my week. The Angel Rock is fast, but I find this show is the fastest show I do. And I think it's because there's so much to talk about. This one,
Yeah, we're
Kevin.
all over the board.
This one, Kevin or David's? Oh, David. He wants to know the name of yours.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is called Forest Fae. It's a very small deck. It's about this big. It fits in your hand. They're absolutely, I will tell you, the pictures on this are absolutely beautiful. And the sayings are very, very earthy. They're very like the honey mother and the message on it. Let me see. Sometimes the greatest magic lies in the smallest of forms. And it's weird how you use these, how I use them. I can't just pull one card. I pull it as a situation. Oh, God is supernatural.
Of course, you know I had to get this deck, the supernatural deck. If you guys don't know that, that's my guilty pleasure. I am a Dean girl, love Dean Winchester, and I got this the day it came out, and I don't usually do tarot. You know why I like it? Because it's got each character on there, and you could intuitively read it if you know the characteristics of the characters from the show. It's pretty easy to read this deck.
Yeah, the FAE did look like the SEX word. He said he read forest sex.
Oh, interesting.
Forest Fae.
This is another one I have too. That's really cute. I like the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, that's cute. I like that one.
Yeah, and it's a little tiny one. It's cute. I have so many decks.
My friend India Lee, who's a very amazing tarot card reader. She is she made a deck finally, and she sent me one. So when I get it, I'm going to use it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
My friend Debbie Anderson has made a couple decks. Yeah. Oh, Julie says, I love that show. Haven't seen it in a long, long time. I haven't seen it either. And the interesting thing about that show, because I kept thinking, where are they coming up with these storylines and the monsters and stuff? And we started looking it up. Like when they did monster shows, they did the research. They even had apparently somebody who supposedly spoke Enochian, like the ancient dead language of the Enochian language, spoke it, could translate it. Like the scariest episode is in the first season when they do the Wendigo. I think that's still one of the scariest episodes.
Okay, wait. You guys, if there is a Wendigo Oracle deck, I'm going to buy it.
Ooh, okay. So if you guys hear of one, let us know. Oh, Kevin goes, wow. Oh, so many decks, all interesting, Lorilei and David. Are you kidding? I haven't pulled out the angel board. We have so many different decks between the two of us and stuff like that. But we've been doing this a long time. Yeah, we got 3 minutes left. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we play all over the place. By the way, you guys, let's see. Okay, tell you what, here's the plan. Next week we will try to talk about animals and spiritual stuff, good and evil.
I'm writing it down right now. Okay, tell them where to find you, Dave.
You guys, if you're interested in finding anything more about me, you can go to my website, theywhispertome.com. You can follow me on TikTok or Instagram under @medium David Hanzel, or you can go to my Facebook group or my YouTube channel, both called The Spirit Experience. And of course, please come and join us on the Thing at the Foot of the Bed in Facebook. Go ahead, yes. Lorilei.
We'd love to have you. Thank you, guys. You guys always ask the best questions, leave us the best comments, and we love having you here. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, please stay tuned for the second night of The Outer Realm with the amazing Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano coming up next. And I'm trying to think who they have on tonight. Oh, you know who they have on? A good friend of mine, Augie Nost. If you guys want to hear about interesting things, metaphysics, the power of the mind, stuff like that, watch the show. Well, I tell you to watch it every week, but Augie, I'm a little partial to. He's been on the Angel Rock lots. If you ever want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on facebook.com/Angel Rock to book a reading. I do teaching and mentoring. I do Akashic Records, and I do energy healing. Also, I have two groups on Facebook, the Angel Rock for all things spiritual, and the Paranormal University for all things paranormal. Sorry, my son's popping in here. He distracted me. And yes, please come join us on the Thing at the Foot of the Bed. We would love to have you. Stay tuned next week, Monday. I will see you again at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are having Faye, and I believe Roger's joining us, Garza, and we're going to be having all kinds of fun on there, talking all kinds of Roger's a psychic, and Faye has Faye's angels, and many interesting topics. So otherwise, we will see you next week. We love you all. You ready, Dave? Stay spooky.
Okay, stay spooky, you guys. And 1, 2, 3. What's at the foot of your bed?
Almost. One of these days, we're going to get it dead on. Okay.
Probably a puckwudgie. Look at
It was a
puckwudgie.
All right, you guys, we love you. We'll see you next week.